there, and welcome to another episode of Veterans Onward to Prosperity. I am so excited about today's episode. You know, the transition from military to civilian living sometimes has its challenges and overwhelming challenges, but today's guest is going to tell us about all the sources and resources that are available to us as we're making the challenge. I mean, as we're overcoming the challenge and making the transition. So don't go away. We'll be right back.
Let me introduce you to Frank Sinclair. He has a business called Dream Again Business Consulting. Frank believes that you were put on this earth for a specific reason. It's his job to find out why. If we follow the natural course of your life and your story, it always leads to your purpose.
Hey vets, you know who I am. This is Ranger Johnson, and I want to help you to get the VA disability rating that you deserve. And if you want to know more about the Ranger method, please go to championsforveterans.com and schedule a free consultation now. Stay in the fight!
Hi, welcome to the show, Erika. Stoyan?
Erika Slaton.
I apologize. Erika Slaton from what we know is Military One Source, but it turns out that's just part of your portfolio. How are you supporting us in the military, Erika?
Well, first of all, thank you so much, AnnaMaria, for allowing me to be on this show. Whenever we have the opportunity to talk about the plethora of programs and services that we offer, we jump at the opportunity. So first of all, thank you. As you mentioned, we do more than just Military One Source. My directorate is called Military Community Support Programs. It is a directorate within military, community, and family policy. And specifically, there are 3 quality of life programs that we oversee. One is Military One Source, which we'll talk about today. The second is the Spouse Education and Career Opportunities Program that provides certified career coaches for spouses to help them pursue their education or a job. And then third is the Military and Family Life Counseling Program, or MFLAG program. I've heard it MIFLIC, depending on if you're from the North or South, AnnaMaria, I don't know. But that it's like more than 2,600 counselors worldwide that provide non-medical counseling services for our military community. So lots that we can share.
Wow. So let's start with Military One Source.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is so interesting. Whenever I talk about Military One Source, sometimes I get people who are like, yeah, I've heard about Military One Source. But then after my briefing, AnnaMaria, they're like, I really didn't know about Military One Source. And that's because we're constantly evolving our programs to meet the needs of our military community. For people who are old school like me, it started back as a pilot program in 2002. And at that time, every service had a one source. It was a, Army One Source, an Air Force One Source. And so it was in 2005 when all of those programs came together, consolidates to be Military One Source as you know it today. It is a call center, a 24/7 call center, a website. We recently launched a mobile application, and it provides information, resources, assistance on every aspect of military life. And I'm happy to tell you more about some of those great services that we offer.
This is awesome. How is it that we're not getting the word out to our military members? Because I wind up having to, I'm a career counselor, I get a lot of calls. I get a lot of emails. My AKO is still enabled. So I get a lot of emails asking questions, and I'm always directing them to Military One Source.
Yeah, well, first of all, thank you so much for directing them to Military One Source. I think it's a couple of different challenges that we have. First, we have a very transient military population, right? We have service members who leave the military, first 200,000 or so per year that leave the military. That also means that we have an influx of service members who are entering the military every year, along with spouses. So we're constantly having to talk about and re-educate about the programs that are available, not only through Military One Source, but throughout, our entire portfolio, and then the services as well, the, Marine Corps Community Services, the Fleet and Family Support Services. So it's all of us really trying to beat the drum on the resources that are available. And I also think that certainly, the life is just busy, right? And so it's sometimes it's a fact that you don't know what you need until you need it. And
Yes.
so we want to really get on the front end of that, so that as that service member enters the military, maybe has a major life event with a spouse, a child, and then certainly during that transition period, we want to be able to share our information at every touch point. And it really it takes a lot of people to do that. And so again, we just appreciate the opportunity to do that on this platform to help us spread the word.
Yes, we do need to help spread the word and somehow find a way to coordinate together, right?
Yeah.
I do remember in 2002 when we had the Army One Source. I remember that very, very clearly because of being an Army career counselor. That was one of our tools.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I remember in 2005 when we had the Military One Source to go to as, again, one of our tools. And, a lot of people are asking if they can use the Military One Source, even though they may not qualify for VA. And let's get that straight right now.
Absolutely. AnnaMaria, the one thing I didn't share about myself is that I'm a spouse of a retired Marine. And so, so one of the things that I realized that I was married for about 11 to 13 years before I really found out about all of the resources that are available to me as a military spouse. So, it's very, very important that, we share these resources. So Military One Source is available for service members who are active duty, National Guard, and Reserve, regardless of activation status. Their immediate families, survivors have lifetime eligibility as long as they are not remarried, and their children also have eligibility for Military One Source. And then with the National Defense Authorization Act of 2019, we extended Military One Source services from 6 months to 1 year, just to help ease that transition for our service members. One of the top reasons why people reach out to Military One Source is for spouse employment support, which I talked about with those master level career coaches that are there to support around resume writing, interviews, you name it. That we also have a scholarship designed for eligible military spouses, $4,000. And then the second reason why individuals reach out to Military One Source is for our confidential non-medical counseling. And that is for, counseling to address those everyday military life issues. That could be a transition. I am transitioning out of the military and I don't know what to do. I don't know where to start. It is just a stressful time. I can speak personally when my service member said, Erika, I'm going to drop my papers. And I was like, wait a second, hold on. So it was very much a time of transition. And so that's when a counselor can be a great asset to talk about that transition and then also connect that service member with additional resources. And then the third top reason why people reach out to Military One Source is for our tax services, which we just launched January 24th here, where we offer the filing of a federal and up to 3 state tax returns for free through the Military One Source website. And we couple that we couple that with tax consultants that are available year round. So again, so many resources. Those are just the top three. there are lots of others.
Well, we're going to circle back to that right after these messages. Don't go away.
All right, thanks.
What's the cost of freedom? Life, limbs, sanity. To survive, soldiers need hope and help. Won't you help? Pledge $22 a month to the Veterans Ranch and give hope to returning U.S. military. For details, click the link and give hope to our returning military. Just $22 a month.
Ron salutes as a LinkedIn business strategist and relationship advisor. He's the co-author of 21 Days to Success with LinkedIn. He's a guest speaker for the U.S. Army on veteran transition. Contact Ron at his website. Thank you and welcome back to Veterans Onward to Prosperity. I'm your host, Master Sergeant Retired, AnnaMaria Bliven, and I am so psyched to be having this conversation with Erika. And a part of her portfolio is Military One Source, and we are going to talk a little bit more about the other parts of her portfolio in just a minute. But can I ask about the tax part?
Oh,
is that for veterans or only for those that are still serving?
Yeah, actually, our tax services, we call it Mil Tax, and it is available for those who are serving and those who are in that transition status up to 1 year post-separation or retirement. So if you're in that window, please know to take advantage of Military One Source because it is free through our programs. I mentioned the free tax software that's available through our website. But those tax consultants, no matter what software you use, they can support you because they are experts in all of those tax situations. And I'm thinking, particularly if you're going to do maybe that last move, you're moving from one state to another, you may have some tax implications. And so that's where our tax consultants can support. They're enrolled agents. They are certified public accountants. They also have other certifications through the IRS, and they're very familiar with our military community, so they can talk to you about all those military specific nuances. But what a wonderful resource available for free through Military One Source.
Yeah, and if you are ETSing and you're going back to your home of record and you're doing a DD move, keep your receipts. Keep your receipts. That's all I got to say. I left the military in 2008, so I don't qualify for any of that. But it's good to know that if you are in that 12-month window, we have all of these resources for you. So now I'm kind of going in reverse order. Let's talk about the spouse part.
Mm-hmm.
What's interesting is I met and married my dream husband in the Army. So that makes me a veteran of 26 years for myself, but I'm also a military spouse of a 26-year Army veteran as well. And I know I can relate to what you just said, that when they drop their papers, they're not just making that transition on their own. They are dragging us all with them.
That's right.
It's affecting us too. So let's talk about that for a minute.
That's right. I married my husband out of we were high school sweethearts. He went to boot camp, and then after boot camp, shortly after that, we got married. And I was not really familiar with all of the nuances of military life, so I was just trying to figure it out. And then guess what? We had twins on top of that. So talk about trying to figure out military life. Also with children and navigating childcare, different schools, boy, TRICARE,
Oh my gosh.
a plethora of things. And so oftentimes the spouse doesn't really know about all of the resources that are available until maybe they get connected with a family readiness group or key spouse group, depending on, the service. Or if that spouse has a full-time job, may not be aware of all the resources. And that's why, again, I think it is so imperative that okay, I'm speaking to you, service member police, I would, just really understand all of the different resources that are available to you, not only for you, but for your family as well. And then share that with your spouse, and then connect the spouse with additional resources. Again, I mentioned that I wasn't aware of these resources until well into our marriage, and I could have benefited from the resources like the Spouse Education and Career Opportunities Program. There was a time there when we PCS from one location to another, and I experienced a 9 months of unemployment, and it was not fun.
No.
I experienced some
unnecessary.
Yeah,
very
absolutely.
Unnecessary. Because had you had information, you would have acted on it, and you would have been all right, maybe 9 days without employment.
Right. There's so many resources that are available. So I mentioned the Spouse Education and Career Opportunities Program, or SECO. So those certified career coaches who can support spouses, they can connect them with additional opportunities, job opportunities, like the Military Spouse Employment Partnership. That is a partnership that is made up of organizations, companies who signed a statement of support for military spouses to recruit, hire, promote, and retain military spouses in a variety of positions. There are over 540 employers who are part of our MSEP partnership, and they're actively looking for military spouses. So that's a great opportunity. I mentioned the scholarship. It's the MyCA, the My Career Advancement Scholarship account, $4,000 for eligible spouses whose service member has to be on Title 10 orders, but in grades E1 to E5, O1 to O2, W1 to W2. And then through the SECO website, myseco.militaryonesource.mil, boy, there are so many career assessments, from Myers-Briggs to Tradeify to a resume builder, free LinkedIn Premium, access to Udemy, which is more than 5,000 courses in a variety of topics. And guess what? We also introduced a free membership access to Flex Jobs, which is a site where spouses can find those remote and flexible job opportunities. Again, so many resources. You just got to know about them, and we can certainly connect you with them.
So is FSG getting all this information as well?
We are certainly spreading the word through all of our tentacles, even through our Military One Source state consultants. So if we have 53 state consultants, they're there carrying the water. They're attending family readiness group meetings, family days, even virtually in this environment.
Yeah.
They're providing presentations about Military One Source. So yeah, they are certainly one arm, and we hope that they are reaching out to all of those family readiness groups out there.
Fantastic. So we're going to break for commercial for a minute, but when we get back, we're going to be talking about that non-medical counseling for families. So don't go away. We'll be right back. Hi, welcome back. This is Veterans Onward to Prosperity, and I'm your host, Master Sergeant Retired, AnnaMaria Bliven. And in today's studio, we are so privileged to have Erika Slaton from, I'm going to say Military One Source, but she's from a lot of places that are here for family and military community support, which is, oh my goodness, I can't tell you how deeply grateful I am that we're having you on this show, because we are now going to talk about something that is near and dear. And the near and dear part is the non-medical counseling. We know that there are stresses and strain for the military experience, for deployment, for mobilization, for when we are in top secret situation and we can't talk about what it is that we do. Just that non-communication adds stress to the stress. And in addition to that, sometimes we're on orders and we are overseas and we get extended orders, and where the expectations are blown to smithereens because you thought you were only going to be there for 9 months. Now we're going to be there for 18 months and the family is in turmoil. Please tell us, where can we go when we really are in those situations, and especially the stress and transitioning out of the military? What I just described is an everyday thing.
Absolutely. You know, our military community is faced with so many unique challenges that only someone who has served in uniform or served beside someone in uniform understands. And so oftentimes there are those stresses related to military life, as you mentioned, separation, a deployment, just a movement, period. And so what we offer through Military One Source is non-medical counseling. It's confidential. And we're often asked, what is non-medical counseling? Well, we coined that phrase when we stood up Military One Source because we really wanted to distinguish it between medical counseling for more longer term support. So what confidential non-medical counseling is designed to address those everyday military life issues, just as you talked about. In fact, the number one reason why people reach out to a counselor is for relationship issues. It's for those intimate partner relationship issues. But our counselors can address communications, adjusting to a deployment, blended family issues. Maybe you and your spouse are having a few, challenges and need to just work through those. So that's where a counselor can come in. And especially, as I mentioned, if you're transitioning out of the military and, the whole family is you're bringing the whole family along, or it's just you, then it's certainly being able to talk through those situations with a counselor is very much a reality for many and can be a very great source of support. We offer counseling face-to-face in the local community, also online through our online chat. We also offer it by telephone and by video. So whether you're overseas or stateside, we can certainly provide various modalities to support you and support the family as well.
I am so glad to hear this because there's a lot of people out there that need your help. Mm-hmm. And they believe, though, that they can't reach out because they don't qualify for VA. Let's take care of that right now.
Yeah, for Military One Source, I mentioned that there is no, we don't cut you all off right after you're done from the military, but you have a whole year after separation or retirement from the military to use all of Military One Source resources. We are separate from the VA. We have different eligibility criteria. And so if you have served in uniform and you are transitioning out, you can still use our resources up to 1 year post-separation.
Now that takes care of the spouse relationship. What about a child? A child might have some questions too.
Yeah, absolutely. And, for a child, we also offer non-medical counseling. In fact, in this COVID environment, we expanded our services specifically for children for non-medical counseling to include video counseling. And previously, it was only for those face-to-face counseling sessions in a family context. But again, we saw the need, especially in this environment with so many different changes, school changes, adjustments, mask, no mask, that's a lot. That's a lot for a child. And so what we did was for children who are between 6 and 12 years old, in addition to the face-to-face counseling, they can have video counseling with a counselor, again, in a family context. So family, the whole family has to be a part of the video counseling session. For teens, they can take advantage of video non-medical counseling on their own. So those who are 13 to 17 can take advantage of it. The only thing is at the very start of every counseling session, a parent or guardian has to come on and say, yep, I give you permission. And then that teen can have that counseling session with the counselor. Again, we want to ensure that we're supporting every member of our military community. That's the service member, the spouse, and the child. And I will even extend that to service providers because they are also key to helping us raise awareness about these different resources as well.
I'm glad you said that because in the case of some military, especially that are seriously wounded, they have caregivers. And so I'm sure if they have questions, they need your services.
Yeah, absolutely. And, one of the other services we offer through Military One Source is our Wounded Warrior resources. And so for those who may have questions about a benefit or entitlement, or maybe have not or are not receiving a benefit or entitlement because of some type of issue, then they can call Military One Source and we will facilitate a plan of action within 4 business days. We'll reach out to our points of contact. Maybe that's through the VA, maybe it's TRICARE, maybe it's through Wounded Warrior programs to help that service member or maybe that caregiver connect the dots so that that issue can be resolved. So that is one resource that we offer through Military One Source, our Wounded Warrior resources, that it doesn't matter if you've been out of the military for 1 year or if you've been out of the military for 10 years. We are there to facilitate any issues you have with obtaining entitlement, a benefit, or maybe it's a healthcare related issue.
That's a music to my ears, as well as I'm sure a lot of our listeners, because I was just told a very sad story a few days ago of a comrade that was not taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
And had this comrade listened to what you just said, maybe a month ago, he'd still be with us because his paperwork got lost and he gave up. And if we have a situation like that occurring and we were to call your service, you would help us get that going. And so that what he was entitled to, he would have received. So this is a case in point, audience. We have this resource, and Erika is telling us all about it. But you got to go a little bit more than just knowing about this resource. You have to actually reach out and receive it. And so right after these messages, we're going to talk about that. So don't go away.
Mike Merwin here, U.S. Navy retired submarine officer turned entrepreneur. I turned my hobby of 25 plus years making beef jerky into a thriving small business. Made in small batches with only high quality ingredients, it's not good, it's crazy good. A portion of all proceeds helps save military lives. Order now on www.crazymikesjerky.com using code CB10 for 10% off.
America lost 22 yesterday. She could lose another 22 today. When is enough going to be enough? At the Veterans Ranch, we work with veterans, first responders, and their families through horses. The money you donate helps us expand our programs and help get that number down to 0. Help us serve the ones that served us all by going to project20,000.org and pledge $22 a month.
Welcome to Military OneSource, the confidential program that provides free services 24 hours a day, 365 days a year to assist service members and their families with information, services, and support for almost any need. We are both a call center and website full of information and resources. Also, non-medical counseling is just a call or click away with support provided face-to-face, telephonic, online, or through video sessions using your mobile device or computer. Call Military OneSource today. We can help.
Hi, welcome back to Veterans Onward to Prosperity. I'm your host, Master Sergeant Retired AnnaMaria Bliven, and Erika Slaton, just from the military and family community support that we know of as Military OneSource, but has a portfolio of incredible sources in addition to Military OneSource, just told us some key information. And I am prompting you, the audience, to take notes on what she's saying, but make a plan to act on what she's saying. Because it's one thing to have your dinner plate of chicken, mashed potatoes, and green beans in front of you, and you've got your fork and you've got your napkin, and all you do is sit there. It's another to pick up the fork and actually start to partake in what's in your plate. We have the opportunity to start to partake what's in our plate from the portfolio of her services. So, Erika, how do we pick up the fork and partake?
Oh boy. Well, it's first of all, it's just exactly what you said. It is educating yourself on all of the resources that are available. It is going to, militaryonesource.mil. That's our website, and checking out all of the resources that are there. And I will share, there's a lot on Military OneSource. So our homepage is a really great way to sort of navigate. And if you go to About Us on militaryonesource.mil, it has a list of all of the different resources I talked about, like non-medical counseling, like our tax services. So that's where I would start, About Us on the Military OneSource website. The other thing I would share is that, through Military OneSource, I mentioned we're a 24/7 call center. You can certainly call, you can live chat, and just, ask a general question. And our triage consultants, we call them triage because they're then, once whatever issue you present towards to them or question, they're able to triage the call to, a particular resource. But just ask the question, hey, I understand that Military OneSource offers non-medical counseling. Could you explain a little bit more about non-medical counseling to me? So that is a great way. And then I would also share, for those who are in the military still, on and near installations, your local installations have a plethora of resources as well. So certainly Military OneSource is an avenue, but there are lots of different avenues for support. So certainly the local family center is a great resource. But there's, with the internet and so many resources that are available, starting with a trusted resource is what's very, very important. And so if you don't know where to start, Military OneSource can be your compass for you and help you navigate to the right resource.
Thank you, Erika. Oh, this is just so refreshing to know that we are so well supported. And we don't want anybody falling in the cracks. There's no reason for anybody falling in the cracks. So let's pick up our fork, okay? Let's partake in all of these supporting services that we have available to us. Erika, it's been such a joy having you on this show. Thank you so very much and I know you're very busy, but taking this time to tell our audience what it is that they can look forward to receiving in the way that you support us. Thank you so much.
AnnaMaria, thank you very much for the opportunity.
Okay, So with that, I will wrap up this show. So we'll be right back.
Jay Stoyan here for the Disability Channel. I just want to announce we are going back to the Super Bowl. 5th year in a row. That's right, we'll be media February 13th, 2:22 with Dave Stevens and Casey McKay and our sports show Press Box. Again, Disability Channel is going back to the Super Bowl. 5th year in a row as media. We'll see you there.
Hi there, this is Andre Waugh. You're watching the Disability Channel, showcasing abilities. Stay tuned, lots of action. Yeah.
Would you like to donate to our employment programs? Please follow the link below to donate through PayPal. All proceeds go to our programs.
Veterans Onward to Prosperity. And this episode was all about information, inspiration, resources, and sources, and coming straight from one of the major supportive resources we have available as military members, spouses of military members, and even children of military members, namely Military One Source. That's how we get more into all of the portfolio that Erika was talking about. So there's no reason why anybody should fall in the cracks. And what's really nice is you do not have to qualify for VA to qualify for their services. They're open 24/7, 365. So you know what? In the analogy of the dinner plate, pick up your fork, partake. Reach out and receive their services. Thank you for tuning in this episode. I sure hope that you were taking notes. You can always rewind and listen again, take more notes, and then do yourself a favor. Reach out for those services and then share this information with a buddy. Share this information with another spouse. Let other military families know what you learned from tuning in to this episode, and let's all as a community grow and be the best we can be.